This falls in line with that. It's a bit more further back. At this point, this particular thing is a bit of an idea, but the people involved is what really gets me hyped for it. This project does not even have a fucking name yet, or at least one that we know of. I'm sure it has one, but we don't know what that name is. But it is going to be, at some point, a new David Cronenberg movie. He is coming back to make a movie. He has not made a movie since 2014's Maps to the Stars, and he hasn't made, the king of body horror hasn't really made a body horror type-esque movie since 1999's Existenz. If you are familiar with his work, which most of you are at least familiar with his work, if not his name, you know that he is the king of body horror, but he did do a few movies. By the way, he is the director of the 80s Jeff Goldblum's The Fly. It's probably what he's, people of nowadays, that's probably what he's best known for. That kind of body horror. That is my man, David Cronenberg. But he made 3 movies with Viggo Mortensen in the mid-2000s. One being A History of Violence, which was excellent. By the way, it's based on a graphic novel. A lot of people don't know that. Great movie. So good. Eastern Promises, which was pretty good, and A Dangerous Method. I actually have not seen that one, but I hear that it's pretty good as well. And I can speak to Eastern Promises and especially A History of Violence, even though they are not body horror movies, much like his son's recent movie that ended up on my best top movies of 2020, Possessor, which was also not a body horror or even a horror movie. The violence in I can't remember Eastern Promises so much, but definitely A History of Violence. When the violence does pop off, you can see Cronenberg's hand there. It's extremely violent and very visceral and realistic. So, you know, and there's something to be, he does violence he makes it an art form. He does it so well. And his son did a fantastic job with Possessor as well. If you haven't seen Possessor, by David Cronenberg's son, Brandon Cronenberg, came out this year. It was my number one. It actually was kind of between number 1 and number 2, but it was definitely, I called it my number 1 movie of 2020, and it is a fantastic movie, but it is not for the weak-stomached. If you there's some parts in it and you see it coming, you need to look away if you don't like violence, because that shit is fucking real. That movie is terribly violent. I loved every minute of it. And he gets that from his dad. But what's really interesting about that, Viggo Mortensen and David Cronenberg are talking about getting back together to reunite for a strange film noir story with body horror. So I'm like, holy shit. These types of strange films are what, you know, Cronenberg is really known for. A noir, I really love those, and Mortensen's done those, and Cronenberg's he's flirted with that as well. And body horror, that's Cronenberg's shit, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he'll do here. Once again, it doesn't say much beyond that. It was in an interview. It says that while promoting something else, I think, according to Mortensen, the movie is a strange film noir story, and it will feature body horror elements, something Cronenberg is extremely well versed in. And it also mentions how there hasn't been a David Cronenberg movie since 2014's Maps to the Stars, and that's not okay. I totally agree. Cronenberg is a great director. He has played parts in lots of movies. He's had bit parts in tons of movies. He probably his most fleshed out role would be, and he was perfect for it, was Nightbreed. If any of you have ever seen Nightbreed, I love Nightbreed. There's like 10 different versions of it. Apparently there's a new version that's coming that's supposed to be the definitive version. But either way, he's the ultimate villain in it. He's the doctor. That's David Cronenberg. And Cronenberg just has this way of talking and just this kind of air about him that's really weird. I've heard he's a super nice guy in real life, but according to what interviews say, but he's just kind of got this creepy vibe to him. But I don't care what he has doing to him. He had the fucker can do body horror like no other, and he can make some really, really good looking, just really interesting looking movies. He's made some great movies. Now he did make a movie. It apparently it was before 2014, I guess. I watched with Robert Pattinson called Cosmopolitan, I think it was. Very experimental movie. I didn't like that movie. I did not like that movie. It didn't do it for me. I didn't like it. It was very different. It had his style, but I couldn't, it was too much. It was too far out there. But most of David Cronenberg's movies is if his name is attached to a movie, there's going to be something about it that's at least interesting. If not great, it will be interesting. But definitely check out A History of Violence. Like I mentioned a moment ago, The Fly. If you like History of Violence, check out Eastern Promises. Can't speak to A Dangerous Method, but if it's got these two in it, Viggo Mortensen, it's got fucking Aragorn in it. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. Viggo Mortensen is a great actor. But yeah, that's all there really is to it. David Cronenberg will be making a comeback. According to this, Mortensen said that they hope to start filming this summer. So we could possibly see this movie as early as a year from now, after the new year. Who knows? Depending on how long filming takes, what they're making, post-production, all that. We could be seeing a new David Cronenberg movie in a year. And not just a Cronenberg movie, but a Cronenberg movie with Viggo Mortensen, some graphic violence, and body horror once again. So I am looking forward to that. Hopefully some of the Cronenberg fans out there, I'm sure you guys will be looking forward to it too. And as soon as we hear more about it, I will talk about it here.